do we properly rehab the unstable shoulder? Too often I still see people doing external rotation exercise to strengthen the rotator cuff, to improve shoulder stability, strengthen the shoulder. But what mediates proper shoulder function is scapular function. Scapular function mediates the demand on the rotator cuff, not vice versa. So yes, the shoulder tends to have a lot of stability, instability issues. It is a very mobile joint structurally, so think about a golf ball sitting on a tee. So at any given range of motion, at most 25% of the humeral head is in contact with the glenoid of the scapula. So there's going to be often some instability issues related to dislocations, subluxation, damage to ligaments. But if you've seen my Degrees of Freedom capsule, instability can also result from rigidity, lack of mobility, hypomobility. So you've got to target what the problem is first. And generally, as I said, proper shoulder function is mediated by proper scapular function. So we need to focus on the scapula first. So here are 3 things I want you to remember when you're rehabbing the shoulder and trying to make it a more stable joint. Number 1, stop with the dumbbell external rotation exercises, okay? If you don't have proper scapular function, exercising the rotator cuff, if the scapula is not properly positioned, will actually just irritate the rotator cuff, because if the scapula is not properly positioned, the head of the humerus has more translation. Think about it. Most people who have an irritated rotator cuff, it's because they have rounded shoulders. It's because the scapula is not properly positioned. So you're not going to do any good strengthening the rotator cuff without first repositioning the scapula. 2, you don't need any arm elevation. So if I'm trying to work on scapular movement, I don't actually need to elevate the arm. So if my scapular function is not ideal, I should be staying away from those ranges of motion in elevation. I should stay typically below 90 degrees. And number 3, check the T-spine. The T-spine tends to get stiff, tends to become rigid, tends to be limited in extension, and that prevents the scapula from being properly positioned. So always remember, you're thinking scapula first. Scapular function mediates proper shoulder function.